legend is very legendary. 3 decades in entertainment. I'm talking about none other than Nataniel. How are you doing, Nataniel?
Morning. Legend is a word for very, very old people. But I'll take it.
You'll take it. So the reason I'm saying legend is because I'm going to read this. So it's 3 decades in entertainment, 19 albums, more than 80 theater productions, and published 21 books. That's legendary.
Yeah, I work, man. I don't have friends. So I just work most of the time.
Nataniel, quick one. You know that right now we under lockdown. It's been locked down for more than 90 days. It's been a while, 3 months now. So what have you been up to during this lockdown period?
For me, I know you shouldn't say it because it's a tragic time in the world. And I am aware of what's happening because my family lives in France. My godchildren lives in New York and Hong Kong. And my one designer lives in London, and he was very sick with the virus. So, and I know friends who's died in Europe. So I've been aware of all of this, and I experienced it with them long before our problem started. So I was ready to go in lockdown. I went to lockdown before the president said we should, because we couldn't do shows. And for me, it was fantastic because I need time. I wanted to take a sabbatical when I turned 40, but then I was busy. So I thought I'll do it when I turned 50, then I was busy. And when I turned 60 and 70, I was busy. So I've never had a sabbatical. So when this happened, I locked myself in my house and I started working on everything I wanted to do. So since the lockdown started, I wrote a book, which is coming out in August. I started a company that produces healthy oils, cancer-free oils, olive oil, grapeseed oil, chili oil, pecanut oil. That is launched in 2 weeks' time. I started a company that bakes. So I'll be in the supermarket in a month's time. I did podcasts for News 24, Netwerk 24. We did a TV series that starts on the 6th of July, which my brother and I present from our homes for Kijknet. And now, next Monday, I start recording a new TV series. So I work like a dog through the... and I never left my house in 101 days like the Dalmatians. So I had to go to the chemist 2 days ago. Because I make people deliver the stuff and they leave it in front of my house. Then I spray it for sanitizers and then my food stays on a drop sheet. And 3 days later, the squirrels have eaten everything. But anyway, so I went to the chemist and it was a trauma for me because I've never had contact for 101 days with anybody. It was scary. And now people are back in the roads, but now our figures are going up in our numbers, so people must be careful.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I had a great time. I don't know what the future will bring, but I've worked very hard till now. And for me, the time flew.
So that was my next question is, what do you think now with everything that's going around? What do you think now the future of entertainment is?
I do think that, I've also filmed a show. Once we got a license, I went to the theater and in an empty theater with a very small crew, I filmed the show, which was launched last Sunday and online. And I think that will be the future for us as performers for a while. And we need to use talent, if you have any, in a new way. People have to be innovative. You can't do the same thing. If you're a singer, you must set up a little home studio and work with musicians from a distance, do things, write, prepare. And I think it's a time for us to change ourselves so that it would be very boring if you're a performer and this whole thing is over and you return and you're just the same as you was before. If ever you wanted to do an innovation or relaunch or change your image or your style or anything, Now is the time to completely go nuts and prepare. I'm one of those. I shot before the lockdown. I shot my comeback for the photographs already.
Oh wow!
So that I will start when everything is normal or whatever the future holds with a new look and a new thing.
That's awesome.
But I do think this will force artists to think, and some people make unbelievable plans, and the others are just sitting at home waiting for a miracle to happen, which is not going to happen. Yeah. You have to make some kind of plan.
So tell me about a 10-year-old Nataniel. What was your dream? What did you want to do as a 10-year-old back in the day?
Everything I didn't know about music when I was 10 years old as a future, but I had a very fascinating and wild grandmother, and she lived in Wellington. And my mother couldn't cook. My mother still can't cook. So I was hungry my entire childhood because we ate salads. So I went to my grandmother every school holiday just so I can eat. But she had this house full of jewelry, and she wasn't rich, so it was plastic jewelry and, fake pearls and things and dresses that friends made.
Yeah.
And I used to wear clothes and have concerts. And in the sitting room, there was a piano. And I knew that I wanted to wear costumes. Even, I don't know if I want to spit fire or jump through a hoop or train dogs, but as long as I knew one day I could have concerts and wear costumes. My family was upset because I was always coming down the passage in a long dress. So and my grandmother would just say, let's pretend it's Christmas, then we can say he's one of the three wise men and he's wearing a coat. And I'm screaming, no, it's a dress. But so I knew that for me, I wanted to entertain, and I forced my family, my cousins, everybody. I did massive concerts. Yeah. I remember I got a hiding because I heard my uncles talk one Christmas about Glenda Kemp, who was a famous stripper those days. Yeah. And she danced with a snake. I was young and I knew she was in Wellington in a nightclub or in Paul, and she danced with a snake. So in my next concert, I came naked out of a washing basket with a paper snake, and people were in shock. I didn't know it was wrong. I just thought, okay, I'll try that. During that time,
did you ever enter any talent show for singing, for entertaining, or anything?
No. I did I grew up on the Platteland. There's nothing in that town. There's a church and a garage, 200 people, and Jesus. There's nothing else. Yeah. So there wasn't, where I was as a young child, there was not a state fair, but I took piano lessons and flute lessons, and I sang with a choir when the school had a little musical. But it wasn't not like these days where there's opportunities for children. Also, if you live in a million years ago in a small town, music consisted of playing the piano. Yeah. There was no option of another instrument or dancing or anything. And then we did little school, operettas, what you call it, little musicals.
Yes.
So I wasn't a pretty child, so I was always a mushroom or a tree or a mountain. I was never the lead singer because the town people were scared of me because I was strange for them.
Did you ever listen to music, and what type of music do you listen to?
I listen to R&B and jazz and soul. I'm into female vocals. I'm a fan of Patti LaBelle and Aretha Franklin and Yoletta Adams and those people, the big voice American divas, the ones who sing jazz, Ella Fitzgerald. It's a strange thing. My favorite singers, they are not white. Yeah. They are not from here. Yeah. I'm not a fan of American culture. It's not my thing. Yeah. But jazz And everything that evolved out of jazz, the styles that came. Also in my shows, I mean, if you want to kill your career in South Africa, you must say, I sing jazz. Your career will be gone in 10 minutes. So I'm a closet jazz singer, and I always slip into jazz songs or on a blues or an R&B into my show.
Yeah.
And then people forgive you. But if you put the word jazz on a poster, I will lose 90% of my audience because they think it's something they play at a wedding when you dance. So but that's when I listen to all the jazz divas, the great, from Ella Fitzgerald, Bessie Smith, Billie Holiday, Dinah Washington, all those people.
I've read that you say that female voices are more interesting than male voices. Why do you think so?
Because a male voice is boring. It's low. It's like a mole in the garden. It's down here.
Yeah.
It's not. If a man sings high, you think he had an operation. And if he sings low, you can't hear him. But if a woman sings high, it's exciting. And if she sings low, it's sexy. For me, and also when female vocalists, I mean, there's exceptions to everything I say, but female vocals perform with a full range. Yeah. They are vulnerable, they are sad, they are dangerous, they are on the attack, they are angry. They go through a nervous breakdown in one song. Yeah. But men have that thing of, I'm a man, I sing differently. So I sing, it's more, or it's rock, which I don't understand, or it's, it's just, I found if a woman has a big range and they'll top those whistle Mariah Carey notes, yeah, it's unbelievable. And if you have a low, deep voice, it's just where the ear sits. Yeah. Where the ear sits, a woman is with a viola and a violin, while a man sits here at the bottom with a cello or a double bass. It's there, but it's not what excites me.
Yeah. So you also sing during your shows. Do you perhaps become very cautious about it when you sing, considering the fact how you feel about male singers?
I learned from them. It sounds different in your head when you sing than it sounds in real life.
Yeah.
It vibrates in your head and it's a fantastic feeling. Listen, if you ask anybody in the world, what do you want to do? They will say, I want to sing.
Yeah.
That's why everything on TV is a singing competition, the voice and the idols and the this and the that. Everybody in the world wants to sing because of how it feels. It is the ultimate form of release. That's why I don't know why singers die of drug overdoses or become alcoholics, because you don't need that. Yeah. All your psychological problems go out of your body when you sing. It's a fantastic thing. So if there are people, I don't think anybody likes my singing. They just sit through it so they can hear the next story. No. But I sing because it feels fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't have a nice voice, but I'm a good singer because I studied music and I understand music and I'm trained. So I like that, and I would sing jazz full time if I lived in another country. But people must just forgive me that I want to sing. I mean, they think I can sometimes see on a Sunday at Emperor's in a matinee, the old lady leaning over and saying to her husband, don't worry, he's going to talk again soon. If I'm in the middle of a song, then I think, as long as you paid, you don't have to like my singing. But I'm a trained concert pianist. That's what I train. I play the piano. I studied it. And I played competitions and I played for years before I started performing, but it's boring. If you play the piano, for me, and I don't have a good chin. So if you play piano, people see you from the side. And have you seen E.T. when E.T. is in that little basket on the way to the moon?
Yeah.
He has this neck and this strange head, and that's me from the side. So I can't play the piano because the audience sees you from the wrong side.
Elia, I want to speak about a cooking show, and you've been doing cooking show. Are you bringing back the Nataniel's duffel? Or is it back?
Nataniel duffel. Yeah, but then after Nataniel duffel, I filmed in France for 4 years with my brother, who's a chef.
Yeah.
Then we did the French series. And now I'm doing a cooking series, which will start. I'm starting filming now, which will be available from October.
Does it now feel differently when you're cooking in front of cameras and everything?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm used to entertaining people, but I don't like in my house somebody in the kitchen when I cook. So once I know this dish is working and it's fine, then I'm fine on camera. I've never had, in 8 years of food TV, I've never had a flop on camera.
Awesome.
It's because you see that you know the recipe. A lot of people, chefs, have teams that develop the recipes and taste them, and then the famous chef just does it on TV. I cook what is from my family and from my house. That there's nothing worse than if you publish a book or you do a TV show and your food does not work when people try it at home.
Yeah.
And if you're not a trained chef, they are really critical. What does he know? So let's try it, probably a flop. And then you want to guarantee them that it will work.
You're a very popular figure in South Africa, but I know that you don't really attend most of the award ceremonies and all that. How do you account for that popularity that you need to actually account for during that time? Because you don't attend all these things. How do you account for that popularity?
I think people cannot believe I'm not dead yet. So it's something, if somebody haven't killed you by this time because of what you do, then you must be doing something right. I think I do not think I'm popular as in he's my hero. I'm popular in the fact that I think I try to do interesting things, and I never wear the same clothes. I am not accessible on social media with nonsense the whole time. Look, here's my cat, here's my foot.
Yeah.
That stuff on Facebook. I have a newsletter which people run for me, but I don't even have access to Facebook or anything. So people know nothing about my personal life.
Yeah.
And if you're accessible, people get bored with you because they know everything.
You've had quite a number of shows at Empress Palace year after year after year. Very, very successful shows.
17 years, yeah.
17 years, yeah. All the 17 years, huge production. What goes onto what hard work goes onto this production when you guys are really planning? I've seen it unroll. I've seen it unfold all the time. But what kind of planning goes onto these productions?
Well, I have an idea, and the problem is you're already busy with the production, and people ask you, what will you do next year? So you have to think ahead. At least 8 months before the show opened, they want a title and a poster and a thing. So you have to think ahead, and what have you not done? So when I get inspired, sometimes I'm in France, then I just buy fabrics.
Yeah.
I don't know what for, but I will use this. And I write down things and I write songs. And when people say, okay, it's time, I see, okay, I've got these fabrics, I've got these songs, and what can I do? And then a theme starts, and then you start putting it. So I write about 2 months. I write the show. Then I spend a month doing the designs with the designers and building the set and things, and a month of rehearsals with the band, and then you put the whole thing together. So when I actually start working to opening night for like the Emperor shows, it's 4 months, but not full time. That you're still performing and touring with other things in between.
So a lot of your fans have asked for your comeback. They've been asking, when is the show happening again? Do you think there'll ever be a comeback?
I'll come back when Empress phone me and tell me how much money they've got. Then I'll come back. We don't know how the world will be after this. We don't know how theaters will be and when people will be brave enough to sit, because the government does not know how theater works. So they very friendly said, okay, limited theater can now open.
Yeah.
But it's different. A movie house is never full except on a Friday night. They have low overheads, but we cannot come back like a restaurant. If you get a restaurant with 3 good tables, but a theater, halfway, if a theater is half full, you're still not in profit.
Yes.
That is still breaking even. So I can't perform in a half capacity theater because then we go to lose money.
Absolutely.
You have to. So that's what I think they did it to try and look nice or something. But I mean, it's not logic. We are not sponsored, and we are not like in Europe, the government gives billions for theater or stuff. Yeah. We have to work with box office. And for that, you need to make profit. And that profit only starts after the capacity that's allowed now. Yeah. So I will only be back on stage when it's all good. Yeah. And people are healthy and the theater is allowed to be full. And people feel safe.
Yeah. Do you ever listen to South African music?
If they phone me and ask me to help, there we are. I have a few singers that like Lindiwe and Corlia and Nicholas. The people I really listen to and enjoy have all been in my shows because that's why I asked them.
Yeah.
Like Judith Sepuma, who I performed with, because I love the voice, I love the style, and everybody I like are true vocalists. I'm not into the pop artists. I don't know, and I do not understand a band at all. I know there's a band, but a band, that group, I've never seen in my life. I want to know who's the lead, who's there.
Okay.
So, I follow singers, I follow vocalists.
But is the one that you probably collaborate with, without the band though, like you say, but collaborate with, that you actually would want to collaborate with, that is actually a sensation right now?
No, let's say like this. If I haven't phoned you by now to do a show with you, I'm definitely not listening to you. So it's like, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And good vocalists find me. It's like they come through the trees. You hear on the radio in the car a breathtaking voice, and it's just, who's that? And then you have to find out who that is. Yeah. If a voice hits me. The thing is, we are not a culture in this country and have audiences that push singers to be the kind of singers that I like. We are not a public who support the big belters. We are not those people like in America that when Patti LaBelle opens the first note, you're like this already on your feet. we are not that kind of audience. We like funky stuff. We like ethnic stuff. We like pop stuff. We like quiet stuff. But we're not into the big, I'm going to blow the roof off like Shirley Caesar today, which is what I listen to because of the way we are as audiences. If you want the singer to scream his head off, you have to start screaming first. And that's not what we as audiences do. Yeah. So the people I really, really listen to, they visit South Africa, but they're not here.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's not what our culture likes. It's what I like.
No, 100%. So what makes Nataniel laugh? What is that one thing that makes you laugh?
I don't laugh a lot because it's not good for the Botox. But I laugh at certain TV shows.
Yeah.
Like on Netflix, Schitt's Creek. I love Schitt's Creek, that series.
Yeah.
I love anything Bette Midler does. I find her really funny. Mm-hmm. But I seldom, and then my family, I have friends, we really laugh, but I don't laugh at normal funny things. If you say I'm a comedian, automatically you're not funny anymore. The main thing of something that's funny is that it's unexpected.
Yes. Yeah.
If you say, like in my shows, people think they laugh, but it's not because I'm a comedian, I'm a storyteller. So if there's something funny, it catches you and you laugh. It's all about timing. So when we sit at a table in better times, when we're still allowed to sit around a table and talk, then I really laugh because people say unexpected things. I laugh a lot with my brother in France because I find him really funny. Completely below the belt, but funny. And I have a funny family. My dad was a storyteller and a joke teller. So it's in our culture. I seldom laugh at entertainment. I would sit through a movie. Melissa McCarthy made me laugh in Bridesmaids. Or if somebody's physically very funny with their bodies and what they can do, I laugh. But I'm not a laugh-out laugher. In my drinking days, when I was drunk, I really laughed. But I'm now sober for 7 years, so you have to be really funny and unexpected.
Tell us about the Nataniel Progress Project.
There's many problems in the world, but for me, children are the most vulnerable things. I know some people help dolphins and others save dogs and others must save the planet and the things, but children grow up being abused in this country incredible lot, not just from families who suffer, but in families, children are abused and in neighborhoods and stuff, and they're vulnerable. And until a child is 16, 17, 18 years old and can leave an abusive situation, they have no choice. I mean, a child has very little choice. I was upset my entire childhood because our school clothes were so ugly. I had to look ugly for my entire school career until I was 18. I was upset from wearing this nonsense. And you have to eat what your mother makes. And you have to go and sleep at the time that your dad says is the rule in this house. There's no freedom. And especially if the individual child who has talent. So I tried to help not only children, that I choose projects that I believe in and that are no corruption in the charity and that I can visit and things, but I also make students study. Every year I help, you must help at the crisis end, but I also believe so much talent is leaving South Africa. People who study here and then they get a job offer overseas, so we lose our expertise. So I try to help students who are excellent, but do not have the family or the bursary or the money to support it, to study, to be educated and be excellent in some form.
So you are a very multi-talented entertainer. What is this one area of your talent that you think hasn't really taken off and people probably haven't taken notice of?
I think my career as a musician, I'm a trained musician. It's the only thing I really care about. But I've been overwhelmed by TV and food and books and advertising and speeches and stuff. There's a lot of other stuff, which for some people, after 33 years, there are people who are shocked when they see a show and see me sing. They didn't know I do anything with music. And I'm like, which planet are you from? But they still don't know. I feel myself and the industry are neglecting my side as a professional musician. Somehow it's overshadowed by other things. And the older I get, the more time I spend doing music in a serious way. Not just as a performer, but writing, arranging, producing, doing in other ways music that people don't even know if they hear an ad on TV that it's my music or stuff like that.
So all in all, I heard you speak about the company that you've opened and the cooking show and everything. Is there anything on the horizon where we need to anything that we need to look forward to? How can we get a hold of the content? How can we buy the content? How can we view the content?
There's a new book coming out in October of stories. There's baking, where my new company bakes. So that will be in the supermarket soon. There's the oils, natural products coming out later this year. There's a show ready for the day everything is done. I can kick the stage door down and I'm ready. There's a brand new show with the costumes waiting. There's a lot of my stuff. If you go to Nataniel.co.za, which is my website, or Nataniel News is Instagram and Facebook. It's called Nataniel News. Oh, and I built a food blog, which will launch internationally at the end of the year.
So the next phase of the interview is called 5 over 5. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Each question has 2 options.
Not that I'm supposed to know. I know nothing.
No, it's 2 options. So it's one or the other. So you have to choose one. It's very difficult one. So it's not easy. So
like meat or chicken.
Yes, before those kind of questions exactly. So the first one is, I don't know if you're a sporty person, but soccer or rugby? Which one would you watch for the whole day?
Probably rugby, because as a child I had to play it, so I understand it.
Yeah.
But I like watching how other people make money and I get nothing. It's the strangest thing. If you watch rugby or soccer, you know they get paid thousands and you clap.
Yeah.
Nobody comes to your house and clap because of your salary. It's just a strange concept.
So the second one is, would you prefer singing or telling stories? So storytelling or singing?
Singing, yeah.
Singing.
Singing is a nice. Stories is what other people want to hear, but singing is the thing that feels the nicest.
That's awesome. And then the third one is soul music or pop music?
Soul.
Definitely.
All my divas come from the soul world.
All the divas, not the boys.
And soul music does not age. The songs I listen to come from the 70s and the 60s. Pop music, 2 weeks after it's out, you laugh and think that's the old keyboard they used, because it dates. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So you never listen to any R&B boy bands?
Well, if they're pretty, I might look at the poster.
Okay, cool. So the fourth question is Patti LaBelle or Diana Ross?
Oh, Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle is the ultimate singer in the world. And you know that they started their careers together.
Did they?
Yeah. Patti LaBelle and Diana Ross started her groups, her singing groups at the same time. And then Diana Ross stole the one girl from Patti's group.
Oh.
And that's why they've been friends ever.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that story.
Diana Ross is a gorgeous woman, and I know all her songs, but Patti's just the best singer in the world.
That's great. That's great. And the last one is, would you prefer to go shopping, or would you prefer, well, this is fashion to shop for clothes. Would you prefer to go shop for clothes or cook? Cooking or shopping?
I never shop for clothes. I ask people to make clothes for me. So I'd still, if I had to choose, and I'm in Europe where there's fantastic shops, then I will do the clothes shopping. I like nice clothes. I can always cook after the shopping. I will go for the clothes.
Now, that's awesome. You've actually passed 5 over 5. So you've got 5 over 5. Well done.
Do I get a balloon? What do I get? A balloon, a weekend at Empress?
You get a weekend at Empress as long as you get to sing and tell stories.
Yeah, you get a weekend at Empress at this point as long as you stay home.
That's awesome. Actually, it's been very great to get to know you, Nataniel. I'm sure your fans will be glad to actually listen to this interview and hear you speak about yourself, get to know things that they really didn't know about you. Do you have any message for them, any closing message for them, especially during these tough times?
I know some people are scared, some people are in denial, and some people are caught up in their situations. I always tell people, just remember, people survived the Second World War. People survived tsunamis. People go through cancer. People go through much worse things than this. No matter how bad it is and it feels for people, there's somebody that you can actually help or do something to. and that this will be over. I'm sure that one day I will walk on stage and everybody will be there and we will have a great time again. But we don't know how things, as long as people stay safe. People mustn't think like, no, it's not coming to me, or it took so long to really start getting people sick. Stay safe. We don't know this thing. People must not be blasé about what's happening now. They must stay safe, and then I hope one day we will all be at Empress and it will be like, wow, and it will be great because we will be grateful then and excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming from a true legend, you really are legendary, Nataniel. And thanks for your kind words, and thanks for the words to your fans and everyone else. And in closing, you also must keep safe, take care of yourself. We can't wait to see you again at Empress Palace.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. Even if it's empty, I'll just come and walk there in the dark passage.
Awesome stuff. Thank you.
Of dreams.